Well, Trina,
Congratulations,
congratulations to you too.
Thank you.
We had our elections today, and both Trina and myself have been re-elected to the position. So,
and you know, I think it's really important to acknowledge that we're privileged to live in a democracy where, you know, we have that opportunity to vote people in. So, you know, thank you to the councillors who supported us.
That's right. Thanks for the support of the council.
We must have maybe done something.
Well, a proof of the pudding will be in the eating, I suppose. So we've still got a number of hurdles to face in the upcoming 12 months. So hopefully we can deliver on some of those outcomes. We
do have challenges, and one of those challenges, we had a number of notices of motion today. The first one was fairly straightforward. That's just about doing the audio-visual recording of the public forum prior to a meeting, so that when people come in and address council, once upon a time people would hear them. We're now, after this meeting, we'll actually be recording those public forums, and that's a great way to go.
And that's what they are, it's a public forum. So
it is. And then we had the...
well, a notice of motion regarding to the new upper house inquiry into the undergrounding of HumeLink, and also the fact that the EIS is out there for public consultation. We've got an extension of time of 2 weeks on that EIS, and look, it's vitally important that the community, who's not only those immediately affected but the wider community, first of all engage with the EIS, and secondly that they put in a submission, because this is going to have a lasting impact on our community, not only the individual but the wider community. And to have these massive towers waltzing across our landscape not only affecting the visual amenity but the environmental amenity of our local government area and adjoining local government areas is, you know, something that we need to make a response to.
And I think that Councillor Armour, who's been an incredible supporter of the group and is so passionate about it, she understands firsthand the impact that these towers can have, did a very impassioned plea today. And the reason that this notice of motion is so important, and the fact that this council continues to support the landowners, is because it's not just about what's happening now. What is being developed will also impact going into the future. The towers that are going through are not going to be the only towers that are required going forward to deliver that electricity and energy to the greater Sydney areas. And so what they're fighting for is not just about today, or not just about this round of towers. This is about the future, and how do we ensure that we have good food producing land, not just energy producing land, which we don't even get to tap into.
Well, look, the way of the future is DC underground. You know, the rest of the world's embraced it. We even as a nation have embraced it by virtue of the Tas link, which connects Tasmania to the mainland and vice versa. And
it goes under the ocean. That's clever.
One of the big dilemmas that's facing us as a country is all of a sudden our ageing coal-fired power stations are in state of collapse or heading towards it.
Who would have thought?
That's right, particularly when they had a planned life of 50 years. So, you know, 1 minute to midnight, we're in a bit of a crisis. Look, the other issue was we discussed was the development out at the Goobragandra. We've deferred that deliberation until we gain some additional information and are better informed about the long-term ramifications and impact of that. We also had a consideration of a DA in
Herbert Street, out along Fairway Drive, yes.
Yeah, and
a non-complying
That's right.
DA.
And look, when people get approvals for their DA, you know, they need to comply with that approval, and when they go outside that approval, obviously council, when it's brought to council attention, we need to do something about it. So there's been a decision made in that effect. So yeah,
there is, and the difficulty is that people think that once the DA has been approved and they've got the occupancy certificate, that they can. It doesn't matter what they do after that. And it's not one or two issues. There are lots and lots of development applications where People are now raising concerns about the fact that they don't comply, and I know that as a council we need to be really, really understanding the impact that some of those developments are having on other people.
And there are requirements for particular areas, residential areas, you know, there's some activities you can't undertake, and it's as simple as that.
And it's the same out in the rural areas.
Right.
So it's not easy, because as councillors we're not planners, but I tell you what, we're learning lots and lots as we go. Community grants is something that we know a lot about, Jeff.
Well, we've had not only did we have a workshop on them, but we considered them today. We allocated $30,000 towards sporting facilities, and close to $45,000 for other activities. So,
but we do a big shout out this year. The community development team.
They did a marvellous job.
Did a fantastic job. They went through every application. They checked the guidelines. They checked the viability of each of those applications, and came up with what we feel and they feel is a very clear distribution of funds across
the whole local government area. Yep.
And to a significant number. Not everybody, or actually I don't know that anyone got the full amount that they asked for.
No, they didn't.
But this is why it's important when people put in their applications that they break it down so that we can fund portions of it, and that way more people get to have the benefit of these community grants.
That's you know, and look, it's important that we continue to nurture the community, but we're not here to do it in total for them.
That's
so
right.
we want community ownership of these projects so that we can assist, but you've got to take control yourself, essentially. Youth Council?
Fantastic. The Youth Council, and I believe that Tumbarumba and Tumut both formerly had their own individual youth councils. Snow Valley's councillors now had the nominations. I think that there are 5 young people from across the Snowy Valleys who have put their hand up, and 1 adult who's offered to support as a volunteer. And the Youth Council is something that can be absolutely critical in giving our young people an opportunity to have ownership over what we've got lots of discussion happening on the voice to Parliament and the constitutional recognition. And this Youth Council is exactly the same thing for the youth in our community.
They've got to have a voice.
We're certainly not youth anymore. No. So why would people
youth
of our generation?
It's a figment of our imagination.
I know it's a long lost memory. But why would we tell our youth what it is they should have, how they should be functioning, what sort of things they want to do, what sort of entertainment they want? So we're really looking forward to this Youth Council.
And look, we want them to take control. We want them to have ownership. We're not here to, issue guidelines or directions. We want to hear from them, and this is a golden opportunity to chime in with your 2 bobs worth, to be quite honest.
So we'd encourage more young people from across the local government area
to get
put
involved.
Your hand up, nominate to be part of the Youth Council. It's a wonderful way to make friendships, because the Youth Council network isn't only local, it goes statewide. It actually goes into state, I think, to ACT and
huge potential
like that.
here.
Yeah, so please
take control of your own future.
Yeah, get young people to nominate. Policies.
Yeah, we've got heaps of those. We're still waiting for the companion animals policy. I shouldn't have raised that, I know, but
that's okay. It won't be like it was last time.
That's right. It certainly won't be. Policy, community facilities, shared use, rental subsidies, policies, so that we can get the best out of the facilities that we have in our local government area, and we've got some fantastic ones.
We have.
We don't want them used 1 or 2 days or 3 days a year. We want them used as much as we can, and to develop a policy that gives us that opportunity is what this is all about. You've got 28 days.
Make a submission, but the idea is that we work in conjunction both with private business or sectors along with the community. So there is no point in having a hall that sits there for 360
days of the year,
and
unused.
Yep.
No, you're paying for it. We want to get it used, and whether it's a community group or a sporting group or whatever who can see a potential use of it, we're here to develop a policy so that rather than have to consider each one, there's a policy, a way forward, get in there, use the facility.
New bridge at Brungle.
Great, fantastic.
We Jasper Road at Y Angle.
Yeah.
It's always good when we get a new bridge. Build a bridge, get over it.
You know, we've got to replace our infrastructure and bridges. Yeah. You know, they're a vital part of you know, country life.
They're connecting.
Can't do without them. You know. And look, you know, today was the first day with our new general manager at the helm, a gentleman named Steve Pinnock.
Wealth of experience and knowledge.
Experience in local government, dealt with merger and merger entities before. Yeah, look, we've been fortunate that Steve's come to join our crew and drive the agenda for the next 12 months.
Have to be honest though, it makes it easier when we have, most of us have known Steve from a previous life when he was the general manager down at Greater Hume.
Yep.
But he's a
well
really
respected in the local government sector and understands small local government entities. Like, you know, let's face it, we've got 15,000 people round figures here in Snowy Valleys Council. You couldn't consider it to be a council of monumental size. Has particular issues for small rural councils. Steve understands them.
But we've all got big hearts, so that's the sense of community and unique identity that each community needs to retain and it needs to work on. So it's good to have Steve on board.
That's
Looking forward to it.
That's right. And
he's got
some big issues to address. We have to look at the long-term sustainability of Snowy Valleys Council or the demerged entities. It makes no difference under what guise we operate. We've got to be sustainable. And
now, you went to Toomey yesterday.
I did, to the opening of a Telstra mobile phone tower, which was sponsored in large extent by the local community. Fantastic installation. Look, communications in the upcoming season, you know, we had experience in 2019-20 of poor communications by virtue of the fact that these sites go down very quickly in a fire situation. We've got to look at making these sites a little bit more bulletproof or able to cope with the loss of power, and we've been raising this with Telstra for a number of years, I suppose, in this issue. And look, this is just one exercise. It's got fibre to the cell, which makes it less vulnerable to mobile phone link outages. But having said that, there's no ability to connect power to it in the event of a long and protracted blackout. Now, they're issues that we as a community, in conjunction with Telstra and others, can seek a way forward to make sure that we can provide that vital part of communication in an emergency situation.
Can we leave them with just a little teaser, Chaff?
What's a teaser? Or shouldn't I ask?
Should I? Well, we had a presentation this morning on the Country University Centre, and it's something that's been on the agenda for a while, but we're fairly confident that we're really going to move forward with it.
Well, it certainly, you know, it was a very productive discussion this morning. The opportunities are enormous. There is potential funding out there. We think we've identified a potential premises within our community. With the Country University organisation has offered us a great deal of support in getting it up and running. We're setting up a working group to facilitate this happening. And
so it's exciting?
It is. You shouldn't go any further. Just dangle the carrot out there. Right?
Long way to go in this one, but you know,
it's a beginning, and it won't be for lack of commitment.
No, and I think opportunities are boundless.
That's right.
For everybody 18 years and over.
Yeah, the potential to be able to go
Chaff,
to
you might do a uni course.
Oh gosh, I went back to TAFE in 1994 or 5. Anyway. I could do one on old age, do you think? Yeah, that's right. But look, okay.
Congratulations on the re-election. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure working with you over the last 18 months.
We bounce off one another. We have our disagreements at times, but we're here for the primary objective of advancing Snowy Valleys Council and the people in it. So
thank you to the community for your support too.
Right up.